Welcome to the San Francisco 49ers preview. Professor B here with former Super Bowl champion Dennis Brown, Niners and Cowboys. The rivalry renewed, Super Wild Card weekend. First time in 27 years that the Niners will be playing the Cowboys in a postseason game. Last time it was this week, January 1995. Of course, this week, 40 years ago this week, Niners played the Cowboys in the epic catch 40 years ago back in January of 82. Dwight Clark that made the catch that started the run for the Niners for the next 2 decades. And Niners and Cowboys.
Yeah, it's a deep rivalry. You know,
Yes.
it's it started in the 80s when I came to the team, 70s, 80s, and we know what the catch is. The 40th anniversary of Dwight Clark and the catch. And then when I was in the league in the 90s, I mean, we battled this team for 3 NFC championship games. And, it's a lot of history. I mean, these two teams, you're talking 10 Super Bowl wins.
8th time these teams are going to play in the playoffs. Niners are 2-5 all time. They're 0-2 in Big D, but throw those 2 losses out at Texas Stadium in Irving away. This is now the president, new generation.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these young kids don't even know what the rivalry is about.
They're going to get a school education this way.
Well, I mean, it kind of works for their advantage because they don't understand, that how much the rivalry goes, how deep it goes. But these guys need to focus on the job at hand, and that's beating the Dallas Cowboys, a very good Dallas Cowboys team. You beat a good Rams team last week. You come back, you give up 17 points. You can't do this against the Cowboys. You can't spot them 17 points. It's going to be hard to come back because Dak Prescott and this offensive power, they're powerful. They can put some points on the board quickly and fast. So, you got to come. You got to play really well this week. Take care of business. You got to play clean football. You can't turn the ball over, and you got to make good decisions on offense and defense. The defensive line has to show up like we did in the second half against the Rams. Really get after Dak Prescott. He's a quarterback that extends plays with his legs. He's always looking downfield to make plays, and he's got some weapons.
Secondary's got to be able at all times. But now let's flip it to your memories of the Niners and Cowboys, 92, 93, and 94. You lost twice, lost here at Candlestick, a little not far from here, in that monsoon rain at Candlestick that afternoon. And the game I remember that night, 2 AFC title game, was when after the Niners got within 4, Troy Aikman threw that hook, that slant up the middle to Alvin Harper that pretty much I remember looking that we were doomed.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that game. I want to talk about the 94,
Before,
okay? That's what I
93,
want to talk about.
But to get there, it all started after the second loss.
Yeah, but
when Eddie D and them said, this is not happening next year.
And they went out and we got some players, right?
Oh, yeah.
We went out, we got Kenny Norton Jr., we got Gary Plummer. Was able to get some pass rushers, some real some really, really good pass rushers, experienced pass rushers in the National Football League. Ricky Jackson came on the team. Richard Dent came on the football. Charles Mann came on the team. So
Gary Plummer.
Yeah, that game was great, but the next game was even better. Deion Sanders, we didn't get Deion Sanders. So you that's what you do as a team. You put guys in position to win football games, and you get players. Because players make plays. Coaches just coach. Players have to make plays. So that was a great history. I remember being at that game. I remember beating up on that offensive line, beating up on Troy Aikman, beating up on
Eric Davis' 44-yard pick six
to start the game.
And start the game. He first snatched that ball from Jay Novacek.
To start the game, and that's how you set the tone. And if you remember, we were up. I think it was 21-0.
21-0, and 3 takeaways.
Yep. Defense.
Equals defensive and special teams.
Yes.
Set it up.
Yes.
Ricky Warris had a touchdown.
And ED calls the fumble. That I think it was that next series they came out. So this is what the game plan has to be. Come Sunday, you got to be aggressive, got to play smart, but you got to be physical. You got to get some turnovers. You got to call some turnovers.
That's right. Just like Olivia Newton-John 40 years ago, that track. Let's get physical.
Yeah. So that's what you have to do. All right. But I got to go. It's going to be a big game. Go Niners. I'm going to see a win. I'm going to make no predictions. I'm going to see a win.
All right.
Thanks, man.
That's Dennis Brown, Niners and Cowboys at Arlington Stadium. Kickoff time 1:30. Catch the action on KPX, CBS 5 in the Bay Area. Also on Nickelodeon. Jim Nance, Tony Romo with the call and handling the sideline duties for CBS will be Tracy Wolfson. The game will be on KNBR 680 104.5 FM. Greg Papa and Tim Ryan with the call. And NBC Sports Bay Area 49ers Live Playoff Edition with Laura Britt, Dante the Hitman Whitner, DeKale Spikes, and Joe Staley at 12 noon Pacific. And then that will be on NBC Sports Bay Area. Of course, 49ers post-game live will be immediately following the contest. For the latest news on 49ers and so much more, go to 49ers.com. From the Cow Palace here in Daly City, I'm Brad Professor B. Davis for your 49ers playoff report on Niners Radio. Niners Radio is an association with the Satellite Digital Media News Network, giving you exclusive coverage of 49ers playoff football. 49ers football celebrating 75 years of forever being faithful to the Bay.